Adin Ross, the infamous, unapologetic streamer that finds a way to get away with everything. However, in recent weeks, he crashed with Top Dog Entertainment, he lost a massive NBA brand deal, and he received a harsh reality check. So, here's how Adin Ross finally went too far. Before I dive into this, I just want to be very clear with you guys. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All of my information is based on public records, social media, and personal opinion. All statements made regarding specific individuals or events are allegations, and they shouldn't be taken as proven fact. I don't have personal knowledge of these events, or I don't know these people personally, and I encourage you to also conduct your own research as I did. With that being said, please enjoy the video. Alright, so Adin. I'm sure you already know who he is, but if by chance you don't, he's a Twitch streamer that rose to fame through gaming and a lot of high-profile celebrity collabs, and he's just known for his trouble, right? So much so that because of his controversial behavior, he was banned from Twitch and he moved to Kick with a multi-million-dollar deal. The way that I think of Kick is like the evil brother to Twitch, alright? It houses all sorts of just shady creators. If you remember my last video that I did on Clavicular, Kick is known for their bad actors, right? But I digress. He was moved from Twitch and he moved to Kick, and apparently Twitch had unbanned him, so he's back on his platform. He's not the best guy. He's not the best character out there. And as much as I would love to go over everything that he's done and gripe and moan about his behavior, I'm actually here to talk about the 2-week controversy that he's got in over the Top Dog artist Doechii. Do you remember when we were back in school and we were learning about cause and effect and how our actions all have consequences? I feel like this is just the epitome of that. I just want to set the scene for you, okay? So one night Adin comes on stream and his fans started encouraging him to go on a Doechii rant. Adin had a myriad of just disgusting names lined up for seemingly no reason other than the fact that Doechii's an industry plant, quote unquote. He was so passionate about it too. He kept going on saying she's an industry plant and she has no talent, and he was really like, it was kind of gross. He was calling her out of her name. He was calling her B-word, and verbatim, he says she's an entitled, unintelligent piece of with zero talent.
Oh, Doechii rant? Oh, dude, don't get me started on that bitch. Hey, don't get me started on that bitch. Don't get me started on that industry plant. Don't get me started. You guys can say shit whatever you want about me, but one thing about me is I'm not an industry plant. I've been streaming for like a long time now. Fuck Doechii, the umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro. She deserves, bro. I'm not joking, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She's just the worst. She's a piece of shit. She stole someone that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's horrible. Fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii. Okay? She has zero talent. I call out talent where it's due.
So, as you can imagine, people are seeing this disproportionate rage and everybody's really confused. Especially for the fact that later on, he ends up collabing with Tekashi 6ix9ine, who is... I don't even have to get into who Tekashi 6ix9ine is for you to understand how weird this is. He goes on with 6ix9ine and he makes this diss track about Doechii, which is just... If you ask me, I've never seen such lack of talent. Like, you're gonna talk about her lack of talent, but that diss track, like I missed the person I was before I listened to it, honestly. However, we're really not here to talk about 6ix9ine all too much and how terrible and how nasty of a person he is, but instead we're going to talk about the shots that he took. For example, not only did he call her unintelligent, but he started making comments about her being stinky and smelly, which doesn't really make any sense, especially since the fact that, he doesn't really know her. It would be one thing if he met her in person and he sat down and had a conversation with her and he gathered the fact that she had a low IQ and that she smelled bad, but he's never met her. So, people gathered that it was kind of racially motivated. It felt like a shot at her race. Because at the end of the day, she's a black woman, and you're sitting around calling her low IQ and smelly, but you don't know any of that. You don't know if she's dirty. And of course, music is subjective. It's one thing to not like her music. Me personally, I hated it. Especially Anxiety. I mean, like, just listening to it gives me anxiety personally. Hate that song. And it's not her fault that her worst song became her most popular, but you shouldn't judge her character based off of her music. That doesn't make any sense. He goes on to accuse her of botting her streams, which we'll get to later. And again, the hate with her disrespecting 9-to-5 workers. It just kind of seemed like jealousy, because at the end of the day, clearly she's talented. I mean, Adin's not the one signed to a record label, but she is. So as people do, they began to question where he was coming from with all of this, because I mean, it really seemed one-sided, the way that he was just barking at the mouth. He was just foaming talking about her, and this beef literally materialized out of nowhere. Like, nobody understood where this was coming from. He claims his reason for even coming up and talking about her was because she came at me first, which is what he said. And it was in reference to a verse on a song that she had with SZA, which I'll actually read out for you right now, since I obviously can't play it for copyright reasons. So, of course, I'll read this with as much censorship as I can, but in this verse, she ambiguously calls out people who are calling her an industry plant, and she vaguely accuses men of exploiting her image, which they do. A lot of people do, not just Adin. The verse goes, "All that industry plant-ish whack. I see it on the blogs, I see you in the chats. You every rap from the back. But what's the agenda when the it girl black? Y'all can't fathom that I worked this hard, and y'all can't fathom that I earned this chart." I actually found this kind of funny, because this verse, like it doesn't mention anybody at all. It's very vague. It's very, one size fits all a little bit. But Adin took this as a personal shot at him.
I want to make that very clear. I'm out of my own business and shit like that. She came at me very first. And you guys can say it wasn't intended to. It was. Complex posted that. These major PR places, they have a whole PR team chat. They tell Complex and shit what to post. That was a PR hit piece against me. Facts. Chat, you guys know this shit because you guys are into the clipping world. So all these little dumb old heads, it wasn't towards that white boy.
Can you please stop talking about Doechii while I'm in the camera? They're calling me a coon. They think everything's about race.
You know what's so funny? Everyone's saying that Adin dissed her first. I dissed her because she came and went hard at 9-to-5 workers. If anybody disrespects a 9-to-5 worker on a video, I'm gonna call them out for it. She shouldn't get a pass. Nobody should get a pass. If you disrespect somebody who works a 9-to-5 job and you're as less as you are making millions of dollars rapping, you shouldn't feel that way. Stop disrespecting people that got you where you are.
I do want to talk about, the whole 9-to-5 disrespect situation, because I feel like it's really nuanced. You're definitely allowed to interpret it any way that you want to, but when I saw this viral clip of her at the Met Gala, I didn't really see it as her being disrespectful. Now, I don't know if I'm going to insert it here, but just to give you an explanation on what happened, there's a clip circulating of Doechii at the Met Gala with, her entourage. It looks like minutes before the Met. And she's kind of like in this canvas divider, and there are umbrellas being held over her head. If you don't know anything about the Met Gala, this is not like some calm event, right? Like, this is a big deal for celebrities. I mean, appearances are just a huge deal. People are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Everybody's reasonably a little bit tense, because at the end of the day, what really matters is that things like this run smoothly. Anyways, Doechii's yelling because she needs more umbrellas, and she's frantic. Now, I'm just assuming that she needed them to hide her look, and if you watch the video, you can hear people yelling around her, I guess her employees yelling around her, and they seem much louder than she was. Of course, like I said, you can interpret it any way that you want to, but a lot of people did not see Doechii being rude. Was she frustrated? Yeah. Was she in a rush? Probably. But she was not being disrespectful at all. In fact, I feel like the employees had far more of an attitude than she did. I just think if anybody should be criticizing one on how they treat others, it's not Adin Ross.
Right now, just get want Papa Dan at your work?
What the? Damn.
What? Tyrone?
Yo. Is this a prank or something? Nah, he's just recording.
Why you guys so fucking quiet? You need a fucking drink?
I'll take some.
I don't need his ID or you guys. That's it.
Can I get
the rest, I need ID.
Can I get a water?
Yeah, we only have bottled water. You want it or not?
Yes, please. Is that for real?
Is that for real? What do you want? Water? What the fuck of water? Why are you looking at like that? I'm not the
bitch. Say, give me a supervisor. What's the fuck wrong with her?
It's my job to be bitchy. I'm not gonna be nice. It's my fucking house. You want it or not? I'm just doing my fucking job. Got it?
Can I be mean too? Yeah. Shit. Bitch, do your job. Bitch. Well, shit, bitch, do your job then, huh? Right. Bitch, just.
And now here's just a theory. Other creators have been bringing this up, and I really did not want to ignore this. People like Jay Nolan, Melody, and Charles all suspect the same thing, and it's that Aiden's weird narrative stems for Aiden's adoration for Drake. It's kind of like this proxy war, and Aiden's like playing as a pawn. Stay with me. I know it. I know it sounds kind of crazy. Like, trust me on this. Just think about it. Aiden is well known for his allegiance to Drake. Like, Aiden idolizes Drake, and so much so, Drake has appeared on his stream. It's no secret that he loves him. So wouldn't it make sense that this one-sided vendetta comes straight from Aiden's adoration for Drake? It's kind of like he's clearing a path for his upcoming album, which competes with top dog artists, and we already know the rivalry when it comes to that. There's more to Aiden and Drake. Along with George Nguyen, they allegedly promoted an illegal online casino, which they used the proceeds to inflate music streams. There was a lawsuit allegedly filed with Stake, which is what I'm assuming is the website that they used to conduct this scam. This heavily coincided with Drake's feud with Kendrick Lamar at the time. They were accused of using bots to promote their live stream, which is ironically what Aiden accused Doechii of. What I think really takes the cake out of this whole thing is the tipping point of all of this situation. This is like the big movie climax right here. Adin Ross was met with the biggest reality check that he just could not ignore. He got a rude awakening from Glasses Malone, who's a well-known, highly respected associate of Top Dog himself. When nobody else would stand up for Doechii, Glasses Malone did. He issued Aiden a pressing warning. He tells Aiden that him and his associates, anybody around him, needs to stop talking about that sister like that. That's the word that he used.
What we gotta react to real quick. Let me show you guys why I even talk about Doechii. That dirty, allegedly in my opinion, talked about me allegedly in my opinion. So I'm gonna fuck that dirty. But I can see if she was like a Nicki Minaj, like a Cardi B with like hits. It's nothing. Like, dude, this is like so bad.
He didn't talk about Doechii.
I bet you he disses me for being white. I haven't even seen this. I bet you guys want to lock money. He disses me for being white.
There's no way you gonna think this cool.
Guys, I will lock money. He mentions that I'm white. Dude, who wants to lock money right now? We can bet money, I swear to God. Who wants to lock?
There's no way you think
you
this gonna be cool.
You can't do that.
Why can't
you
I?
thinking you popping and talking shit about that sister? I'm gonna what she said in the art.
You know it's
you
coming.
Keep calling her names, bro. I swear to God on Olivia, bro. It's going to come to a place where that's like it's permanent. You can't take that off. AD let you get away with it the first time. He should have f***ed you around and he didn't. Niggas keep letting you get it off because they want to be cool with you. It's one thing to say, hey man, you know what? That lady ain't said your name, so you assuming it, you finna start calling her out her name. I'm telling you right now, 7th Street Crit, niggas not going for that.
Right, and he was being disrespectful to her and saying some disparaging, things to the young lady. You kind of put that on your shoulders and said, all right, enough is enough. What made you do that?
I ain't really saw a white man call a black lady 100 in front of me or say to a black man, I don't care about none of that black shit or sucking. I never saw that. And it's like none of the relationships matter because, even to me, his take about, disrespecting her like that. I never saw that, Luna. I ain't never in my life saw that. I don't even see it on the internet. Like, I don't know if it's my algorithm, because I'm starting to hear people saying this is happening, and I'm like, well, how do y'all let this happen? Like, how can you see this and some white man kind of verbally lynching some sister is like a standard? This is a big thing. This is a problem where they're trying to convince us that it's okay for them to disrespect black people in this overtone that we know, that we're familiar with historically, and they want to weaponize it and use it as part of their marketing campaign to show that they're fearless to their audience. Like, I'll talk to these the way I want to, and it's like, no, you won't. And here is the barrier right here, and yeah, all the way. Like, I don't know him. I don't know his history. I don't know who his following is, and it really didn't matter to me. It was just like, I saw this white man making all these disparaging remarks about this black woman, and that shit pissed me off. So when somebody in my super chat asked me, did I see it? I responded. I said, oh, nah, yeah, I saw that. I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't even gonna talk about it. But stop talking to that black lady that way.
So with this warning, he's not only putting pressure on Adin, but he's putting pressure on absolutely everybody associated with Adin. I think he said something along the lines of, if I can't reach you, I can reach them. But all in all, Glasses Malone has made himself very clear. He's very willing to take action if any of the racially motivated disrespect continues. So of course, people heard this, and people started making moves. So just think about this. You have Adin Ross, who's isolated now. People like Cuffham begin limiting their support of him. His fan base is starting to realize the error of his ways. Comments start getting really sour, and they already were with Adin's just weird collab with 6ix9ine of all people. Like, that's just one awful business move. That's one way to really run your reputation in. I suppose one could handle their fan base turning against them, but what they can't handle is when you start losing money.
This is why I will never listen to y'all when y'all tell us to stop talking about people. Because one thing about it, and two things for sure, when you stay on their head top, they go quiet. They get real humble.
You guys know I had a stream plan with a very famous basketball player. It canceled last minute because their PR called. So, just with everything going on, so we gotta give like 30 days. But off season will be good. I'm gonna stop coming at people hard and shit. But
and I hope we all know that when he says that he's gonna stop coming at people hard, he means that he learned a valuable lesson from doing too much about Doechii. And when all of us black people stood up and said something, that he learned a valuable lesson. And that's exactly why I will always be BTA. Felt to what? Yeah, okay. And let me just emphasize that I'm still disappointed in all of the black streamers and content creators and influencers who didn't step up to say something, because there's a lot of young black children that look up to y'all, and y'all being silent is complicit. It's being complicit. And this is a reason why a lot of black streamers have to work twice as hard to get to where they're at, because y'all are letting certain people come into spaces and just do anything. But yeah, in all of 2026, we hitting them where it hurts. Them pockets.
Allegedly, he had this deal that was supposed to be happening with an unnamed NBA figure, which immediately fell through, by the way. You know, I'm sure that whoever this was, their PR team, heard of the situation and backed out at a good time, rightfully so. It's just a little funny because this is where Adin starts to care. Fallback is starting to happen, and Adin just keeps escalating things, and this further pushes that fallback. Joe Budden, who is a former rapper and podcaster, denounces Adin publicly. Adin got upset, started pressuring him into catching a quote-unquote fade, telling him to drop his location, and that didn't help at all. It made things a lot worse, actually, because now people were beginning to perceive him more negatively, and people were starting to confront him. He swears up and down he's not racist. He's not racist at all, but, you know, evidence speaks for itself. It's kind of like at this point, Adin's tough persona, it just kind of starts melting away a little bit, because now we have him in a really rough spot. His diss with 6ix9ine put him in an uncomfortable spot because everybody has a very bad image of Doechii. And Adin keeps doing this thing where he's portraying himself as the victim, all while simultaneously escalating the situation with insults. And now he's starting to lose opportunities. Though Adin swears up and down he's not worried about Glasses, he's not stressed, Adin starts booting up like the president. Like he's hiring security, he's hiring police, just daring somebody to try him.
I don't give a fuck. Last time talking about it, bro, we got the police escort in New York City. We got
he don't give a fuck, but he need a police escort. Right. Sounds like a person who isn't worried at all.
like security guards.
Police escort and security guards. Glasses Malone made you up your security. You can pretend like Glasses Malone did not affect you, but you're now spending thousands of dollars more because of Glasses Malone. And so shout out to Glasses Malone. And he's saying this is the last time he's going to address it. Notice how he ain't saying nothing disrespectful about Doechii. Nah, he got pressed and he's done. And all the little niggas around him, they're scared, and they should.
He says that he's just hoping somebody tries it. He's hoping. And he's victimizing himself constantly, but he's using it to hide behind because Adin's really reckless, angry, and he's unaccountable for his actions at the end of the day.
It's not race, it's not gender, guys. I come at everybody, I don't care what gender or race you are. If you're disrespectful to a 9-to-5 hardworking person, it pisses me off. It's a pet peeve. You're a multi-millionaire getting mad and raging and yelling at 9-to-5 workers. It's bullshit, it's wrong.
Everything just feels like it's in contradiction to itself because first he's attacking a black woman. People are asking him why, because, you know, it sounds racist, and he masks it with, I attack women of all races. So instead of being racist, he paints himself as a misogynist. That's an interesting method. I don't think it works, but go off, I guess.
You know what I love? Adin Ross getting checked behind Doechii. Because all of a sudden, Adin Ross has so much energy for Doechii. Where was that energy when Playboy Cardi robbed you in broad daylight and sunned you on live?
You know, it's a good amount of money in here. You know, it's a lot amount of money in here. Right now?
Where was that energy when 21 Savage cheated you out that game for that money?
That is crazy as You see it, right? Every face has a scratch on it. Every single one, bro.
But when it comes to a black woman, now you got your chest out. And he's learning very quickly that WAC 100 cannot save him. The thing is with these dudes who grew up lame and they come into some type of fame or some type of money and they get around real gangsters, they think that it gives them some type of credibility when they don't realize that people are only around them for access and money. Kind of like y'all favorite rapper who don't realize he's being extorted but monetized, I guess. These people don't really respect them. They still see them as lame. But I really love this for Adin Ross.
It's not a sound defense. And furthermore, back on, you know, the whole she came at me first thing, it's really clear that his hostility predates the verse, you know? There was no reason for it. It's like a house of cards, and it's starting to fall. Eventually, Adin couldn't handle the way that everybody was confronting him about his covert racist behavior, and he throws in the towel. He says it's not worth it, and this is where the talk finally stops, thankfully. But I'm not here to really talk about the drama. I really don't want my channel to be about that. I want you guys to look at the bigger picture of these sorts of things. There's just it's a broader picture than controversial people. It's a backlash that's coming against red pill content creators and those who cater to a racist audience. I mean, yeah, racist grifting works for a little while. There's always going to be people who seek out that content. But all in all, audiences are getting really tired of just all the hatred. It's getting to be draining, you know? Influence is just being lost. When you sit here and you gain a huge platform and you use it to constantly put people down with racially loaded, misogynistic language and edgy branding, you have to be prepared for the real life social, professional, and safety consequences, no matter how it's framed, period. Everybody always yells, free speech, and we have free speech. You know, you're not gonna get thrown in jail for saying what you say. But just because you're exercising free speech doesn't mean that people can't push back. Free speech doesn't break any amendments, but you're not immune to consequences at all, and you should be prepared for how the backlash can ruin you. I'm going to insert some screenshots from posts that I've seen of former fans of Adin and what they have to say on Adin as a whole. I really want you to look at the core theme here, which is power and responsibility. A wealthy white man used his platform to target a black female artist with demeaning language, and then get surprised when communities push back and brands distance themselves. The people who frame themselves as brand risks and fearless streamers are normalizing disrespectful behavior under the guise of entertainment and internet beef, and that's a serious problem. I think it's really time that, we as viewers are way more aware of it. People should always be mindful that intent does not erase the context of race, gender, and history. Saying things like, "I talk like this to everyone," is not a defense or a good excuse whatsoever. People are going to call you out. Really be wary of creators who constantly frame themselves as victims, all while escalating conflicts, because that pattern just signals their refusal to take accountability for the harm that they cause. This was a mouthful. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. If you're feeling generous, maybe even hype the video. It's a feature that shows small creators like me that you enjoy our content and would like to see us. If you'd like to hear me discuss something else, please leave a comment and I'll try to get to it.